Good morning, my dear students, my dear aspirants. We are again back in Biology Nagari with the second lecture, the second part of excretory system. In the first lecture, we have already read about the introduction to the excretion, what the excretion means and what the excretion means, what is the difference between the eliminatory products of the body. And now in this second part, we are going to discuss basically the detailed study of kidney, its function as well as the analysis of structure. We are also going to do analysis, brief study on kidney structure. Okay, so let's start. When we talk about excretory system, basically the human excretory system consists of four major organs. Yes, the kidney, the ureter, the urinary bladder and the urethra. And among these all, kidney is a very most important part which plays a role in an excretory system. So first we are going to study kidney. Okay. So when we draw a structure of kidney, it is a bean-shaped organ. It is a bean-shaped organ having hilum in between the depressed part. This is the hilum. This is hilum, also known as hilus. In many books you will see hilus also. So don't get confused. This depressed part is called hilum, or we can also say that this hilum is an opening for the kidney. Yes, the ureter will also arise from this hilum part, the renal artery as well as the renal veins. So let's draw the ureter. Yes, this is the ureter. This is the ureter. Here the renal artery. Here the renal vein. Okay, so I think the hilum is almost clear. The ureter, the renal artery and the renal vein. We are learning here the renal artery. Yes, this one is the renal artery, this one is the renal vein. And we know that the word renal almost itself says the meaning of kidney or the excretory system. So whenever we will use the word renal, it means we are talking just about the excretory system, the kidney, basically the kidney. So the renal artery is the artery of a kidney and renal vein the vein of a kidney. Now when we come forward, there are main two parts inside the kidney. One, the renal cortex, which is the outer part of kidney, and the renal medulla, which is the innermost part of kidney. So let's separate these kidneys lumen into two parts. Yes, we have almost drawn. So this outermost part is the cortex, and we can also say that renal cortex, because now we have studied the renal means we are talking about kidney. So it is also part of kidney. So we can also say that it is a renal cortex. And this, the renal medulla. Now, inside the renal medulla, there are some triangular pyramidal structure which are in 8 to 10 in the per kidneys. The triangular pyramidal structure. So we say that the renal pyramid. So we are going to draw these renal pyramids. These are the renal pyramids inside the medulla part, the renal medulla part, the triangular shaped renal pyramids. These renal pyramids have a renal papilla on their edges. Yes, this is the edges of renal pyramid which contains the renal papilla. Yes, this is the renal papilla. And these renal pyramids are the actual site where the urine will come from in the form of droplets. So there are also ducts arise from these renal pyramids, or we can also say that renal medullary pyramids, because it arises from the medullary part. So we can also say that medullary pyramids. And these ducts are arise from these renal medullary pyramids, and these ducts are adjoined by each other. Yes. And finally goes and opens at a wide lumen called pelvis. This wide part is called pelvis or the renal pelvis. We can also say that the renal pelvis. So these all ducts comes and opens in a wide area lumen called pelvis, and these separate individual ducts are called calyces. Calyces. The individual separated ducts are called calyces, and these calyces goes combined form and open in a wide lumen called pelvis. This is a pelvis region. But these pelvis region is for the accumulation of a urine which is come from the renal pyramids in the form of droplets, and after the urine will accumulate in this wide lumen area, the pelvis part, it will goes through by ureter inside the urinary bladder from the both ureters. Yes, we know that there are two kidneys in a human being. So I have drawn only one because I hope all are clear that human being contains two kidneys. So there will also how many ureters? Two for each kidneys. When we talk about these columns, you can see here, these are here the columns. These columns between the renal pyramids are called the column of Bertini. The column of Bertini. Okay, these columns which are formed in between the renal pyramids are called column of Bertini. And this outermost part, which has been untouched by me, are the renal cortex. But here in the renal cortex there are dotted structures. Here the dotted structures. This is renal cortex. Is it clear to everybody? And sorry students, I am suffering from fever since 2 days, so I hope you will cooperate with me. These kidneys have also capsule on it. These are called renal capsule because we know that the organs are very much important for the body. So there is a requirement of a covering on it. It is called the renal capsule. So let's draw the renal capsule. This is the renal capsule. Or we can also say that the renal capsule is a covering of kidney. What is this? It is renal capsule, or the outermost cover of kidney. This is the almost structure of kidney: the ureter, the renal artery, the renal veins. So let me revise once. Two parts of kidney: the renal cortex, the outer part, the renal medulla, the inner part. The inner part, the renal medulla, contains 8 to 10 pyramids, the renal pyramids on per kidney. It means in a human being there should be 16 to 20 renal pyramids in the medullary part of kidney. Yes. After that, these renal pyramids contains the renal papilla on the edges. These are the renal papilla, and each ducts are called calyces, which are arise from the renal pyramid. Okay, and these all calyces combinedly opens on a large pelvis wide area called pelvis or renal pelvis. And these renal pelvis will arise from the ureter out to the kidney and go and accumulate in the urinary bladder for a certain period of time. After a certain period of time, the urinary bladder will get the message from the central nervous system. And after the message of central nervous system, our body knows it's the correct time for the nature's call for the micturition. It means the removal of urine from the body. This is the almost structure of kidney. I hope this is almost clear. You can take screenshot or make it. Now, after the structure of kidney, we are going to study the function of kidney. But before giving you the lecture on the structure of kidney, I want to clear a very minute difference between the egestion and the excretion, because there are very much contradiction, the confusion in many students. It is very much usual, not to take burden, but it is very much usual to have a confusion between the egestion, because egestion is also a process of a body of removal of waste, and excretion, for which we are talking here right now, is also a process of a body to removal of waste. But there is a minute difference. My dear student, I want to tell you there is a minute difference between excretion and egestion. So let's talk, because it is very much important from my point of view to understand the difference between the egestion and excretion. So when we talk about egestion, and on the second part we talk about excretion. So when we talk about egestion, it is the removal of undigested food from the body. We can also say this term defecation. Defecation is the removal of undigested food, or we can say that the solid waste of human being is called fecal matter or fecus. So the term defecation means the removal of solid waste from the body. But when we talk about excretion, it is not the removal of a solid waste or an undigested food from a body, but excretion is the removal of nitrogenous metabolic waste from the body. So see here, if we say that this is our gut, yes, the alimentary canal, this is the gut or alimentary canal. Here when we take food, these foods are broken into many smaller parts and nutrition are obtained, and the nutrients are obtained. I am writing here N for nutrients. These nutrients from the gut, the alimentary canal, is sent to the blood. This the blood. These nutrients are sent to blood. After the blood gets these nutrients are again sent to the cells. These are our cells. These nutrients are given to the cells. After getting the nutrients by the cell, these nutrients help these cells for the metabolic function, the metabolic activity, and while doing these metabolic activities, the cell will remove some waste, and these nitrogenous metabolic waste is actually the product of excretion. Okay, these nutrients are sent to the cells. These cells get this nutrition for a metabolic activity. By the help of this nutrition, the cell will do metabolic activities, and while doing these metabolic activities, the cell will remove some nitrogenous metabolic waste, and these nitrogenous metabolic waste is the main product of excretion. So the removal of nitrogenous metabolic waste is called excretion, and the removal of undigested food, here when the food gets the nutrition out, there are also some waste which are undigested. These waste are removed from the body, and we say that defecation or egestion. So I think the main difference between egestion, the defecation, and the excretion is very much clear. So from today, you should not say the egestion is also a removal, the excretion is also a removal. Both are the same concept. These are the two different concepts. Now, the kidney's function, which was the main topic. Kidney basically filters the blood. You have heard this from a very previous classes. but I want to say that there is a very small modification in this line. Kidney basically only filters the plasma portion of a blood because our blood is made from plasma and some blood cells, RBCs, WBC and platelets. But on other hand, the blood contains plasma. The maximum majority portion is the plasma. So the plasma portion of a blood is filtered by the kidney. Okay, this is the main first function of kidney. Second part, kidney also plays an important role in maintaining the osmoregulation, because when there is accumulation of very much concentrated ions, sodium, potassium, salts in the body, the kidney itself helps to eliminate these concentrated sodium particles, the potassium particles, the salts in the body. Okay, the kidney also plays an important role in the elimination of these salts or the ionic salts from the body. This was the second function of kidney. Third function of kidney. Kidney also manufactures some nitrogenous matter like ammonia, the hippuric acid. Yes, we are talking about this ammonia, NH3. The chemical formula of ammonia is NH3. The hippuric acid is also manufactured by kidney. Okay, and many more are manufactured by kidney. These are basic functions of kidney. Okay, the basic function of kidney is the filtration. I hope these concepts are very much clear to all of you. Thank you.